Hey there, welcome one and all back to another episode of the Tales of Campaign. It's been a little while now, cause due to technical difficulties in real life, but we're back at it again, lads. We are going to have totally normal times, with our wonderful characters. So, would everyone like to note themselves out and note, the characters they're playing?
Quickly.
Who's on first?
Well, normally I go top to bottom, but I can be funny and say bottom to top this time.
Ah, shit. Me who had just checked back to the list, be like, oh, well, I'm not first. Fine. Hi, I'm Kraken. It has been 84 years. I am here as Chuck Dagger. Living his best
Hello,
life. Everything's great.
And he definitely didn't have a eventful re-meet in the previous episode. Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about the reunion episode. Hi, I am Staria. I'm here with the baby, Lialah. And yeah, he's here to have fun. She's here to rock and roll.
At least one of us is.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
It is in the nature of the baby to always have somewhat to somewhat have fun.
Very true. Okay. Alrighty. Well, hi. I'm the last player here. I'm RJ. I'm playing Tihomir, the resident adult of the party, who is spending a lot of time holding the baby leashes of these other two chuckle fucks.
And hi there, I am your DM, Morskijez, also known as Morskijez. And alongside playing all of the NPCs, I have my DMPC Shino, who is he's trying his best. He'd like to think
the older brother figure.
Mm-hmm.
Which he'd like to think he's holding a baby leash and he's kind of doing it for Lialah, but also no, he's not.
Here's the thing about Shino's baby leash. He is not holding it. He is tangled in it.
Correct. He's being pulled along by it. So
it's like trying to corral an overexcited dog. You will be dragged along.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, cool.
So, without further ado, last time y'all had just about gotten out of Killer's Mountain, and thank goodness for that. You could swear you still kind of feel the gaze of something upon all of you, but you are getting quite close to said Malak City you are all pointed towards. And, well, you get the sense that you're probably just a little bit stronger now after having gotten past the mountain and the encounters you've had.
If we were to put an arbitrary number on it, almost 2 levels worth, one might think.
I know.
They've had some misadventures trying to get out of that fucking mountain. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. There definitely haven't been consequences. Now, you can see, well, all of you.
The real reason why the game took this long, the scheduling got lost in the mountains.
Yeah. So I was about to say you could probably see the gate, but I have a better idea. All of you roll perception.
Yippee!
Yippee!
Alright.
I really need to get Tihomir perception expertise. Like, Jesus.
Man, I forgot. This is my one character that has good perception. I love you plus 10 modifier. Fuck yes.
Oh boy. Okay, well, Lialah, you're a little bit too short, and maybe you're a bit distracted by now by pretty much a different view out here.
But pretty much everything.
Yeah. I also cannot understate how it's been cold previously and sort of very snowy. Clearly a more Arctic tundra sort of climate. It is even more the case over here. Thankfully, this, at least where you're currently stood at, the snow is hard enough that you aren't just falling through, but there's a proper layer of it, and you don't think a human settlement would have a very easy time of surviving here.
Nope.
Now, yeah, now for Tihomir and Chuck, you do in fact see the gate even before Shino is able to point it out to you all. And, well, even from out here, the Malak city is quite notable. Walls do surround it, and you think you can even see some people walking around on the tops, even though it doesn't look like it's really made for walking on top of. And at this point, you can note a very tall building a little bit further back. A rather striking red. And interestingly enough, you think you see some steam sort of floating up from around that building.
Oh, well, that took an age, but okay.
We're out of the mountains!
Yeah.
What's the malevolence like around this place? Is it more, less, about the same that we've been experiencing?
So definitely less now that you're outside of the mountain. When you were closer to it, it would have dipped a level, though it would have been still notable. At this point, at least as far as you can tell, there's kind of none. The Malakim of the party don't need to. At this point, the Malakim of the party don't really need to worry.
Okay, what about current level of malevolence on the Malcolm?
So, do you have anything noted down? Since I believe previously you should have 1 or 2
Yes.
points.
I do. I have 2. I have 2 points of malevolence.
Okay, those are still there. It's going to be sitting there for a little while, I'm afraid, but it won't go up.
Alright, cool.
I know that we agreed that Tihomir can eat malevolence out of the air. Can he eat it off the Malakim as well? Because he would have been doing that if
Ooh.
so.
How should I put it? Tihomir, previously how you've been able to eat malevolence from other diamonds has been by biting them.
Yeah.
You suspect that if you were to want to try do something similar for the Malakim, you'd need to, well, do something similar.
Okay, cool.
Go on,
You're gonna
Timur,
have to
bite
bite
the
the baby.
child.
He will save that as more of a.
Bite the baby. Eat
He
the
will,
baby.
he will save that as more of a dire circumstance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bite the baby.
Some field medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's already absorbed a fair amount as is, so.
Yeah, so you're might be a little bit rougher for you, Tihomir.
Mm-hmm.
You'd as my funny note to you, you probably register as having a fair few points of malevolence on yourself right now. But don't worry about that.
Yeah.
We've all been through the weeds.
Yeah. And I mean, Shino has his own couple points too, but his priority is Lialah at this point because she doesn't really have a vessel that'll help her staunch it.
Oh yeah, right. I need that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we're going to this city.
Yeah.
If not the
Might
reason.
be useful.
That try
In
and
character,
help find...
Lialah probably also forgot about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a city where we can find the blacksmith as well, or is that somewhere else?
Yes, this is that city that Claude's pointed. That's like why Claude pointed you all over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
So
twofold reason.
yeah. So now with this knowledge, before anyone can do anything else, Shino is kind of grabbing the edge of Chuck's poncho and then just going, so, before we go in, have the two of you settle down on what sort of Malachim you're disguising as? He wants to be sure.
I'm like the wind, baby.
Earth, I suppose, unless you have a better suggestion.
Shino nods slowly. Earth should work fine for you. You should be able to disguise at least some of what you're able to do as that, but how come wind for you? Because most of the wind Malachim I know of can move a fair distance in the air.
Mm-hmm. Check this shit out. He's casting Zephyr Strike.
Yeah?
Noom. Increase walking speed by 30 to the end of the turn. Basically, he has just become faster. It doesn't put a hard number on it, but if we were in combat, he could be running around without provoking opportunity attacks.
Yeah. How
He just fucking
flavor-wise, how
flash
does
steps.
that look? Hey, yeah, I was gonna say flavor-wise, how does that look like?
Ooh.
How do you wanna describe it?
Me making this up on the fly because I just fucking gave him this.
Hee-hoo.
I think I'm on the right track where it is like a flash step.
Yeah, that's the typical flavor for this.
Just like, flicker, and in between blinks, he's suddenly not where you thought he just was. Blink.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Narsa. Blink, blink, blink. We're not in Toonland as per usual over in Ye Yonder Draft House, but it's very much the bit of every time the camera cuts away, he's somewhere fucking else, and oh god, when did you get there? He's closer.
Lialah is cheering and clapping.
Shino is squinting, but after a moment he does not satisfied. That does look like that does at least resemble the sort of air step I've seen from some wind Malachim. So, okay.
You're gonna have to color your hair. You're gonna have to make your hair make it green.
Well,
you
the
two
edges
are
at
busting up
least.
all my spell slots. Because he's also got Disguise Self.
Well, excuse me for not wanting you to be caught on sight.
I wouldn't. Damn. I wish Lialah had access to like paint or something, because she would absolutely just fucking paint his hair.
I mean, you're going to a city. You might have a chance to buy paint. You don't know.
You all are saying
over.
paint, and we're in like the Arctic tundra, but just like find some fucking gray slush and slap it on there.
Real, true.
Next time
Because
we're
Disguise
having
Self only
salad,
lasts for an hour, so.
Oh my god. Okay, so Lialah just handed me that next time they eat a salad of some sort, she's saving the leaves and just making it into a makeshift dye.
Over
I
the
don't know
course
how
of
this
going
works.
through the mountains, they've been making this collection. It's now time to dye Chuck's hair.
Yeah. Wait, no. If this has been happening, I'll bet that Shino has like been helping Lialah carry this stuff.
Yeah, Lialah.
We're doing a makeover.
Yep. Lialah is already kind of a little bit of a kleptomaniac. Because everything is new and she wants to hold everything. So yeah, a lot of like anything green that is found on the mountains, which is probably isn't a lot, but it might be enough to make the green slushy that
Well, once again,
can-
we're favored terrain territory with Chuck. He can find that
Yeah.
shit. He does double foraging up here.
Yeah, I'll rule it that you at the very least you have enough to make a little bit, and what you're missing you're able to find out here.
Yeah, it'll get us in
Especially
the
with the
door.
especially with your know-how, Chuck. You're especially able to find what greenery there is still out here right now.
this is a bit of a world building question. Can Malakim sense other Malakim, or is it just like
Nah.
seeing and believing?
They can't sense Abra Malachim unless it's someone who like has honed that kind of skill. But in terms
let's
of our
hope let's hope nobody's there that honed that.
Well, it's
We will
Who would
learn that bridge
expect-
when we get to it.
and we're in a place that's it's so hospitable to humans, and who the fuck would expect diamonds of any variety to actually make it in there? Like, it's sheer refuge and implausibility.
Real.
And hey, there's when you get into this city, surely there'll be enough Malachim to hide any oddities.
Exactly.
Surely.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. This is a no
You could always
problem.
say you've been. You could always say you're like injured or something and can't use the full extent of your abilities.
Or you're young.
Well,
Yeah.
that's kind of true, anyways.
We have a literal child in all senses, a Malak teenager.
For the actual Malachim party members, and like.
You are young. You are baby.
Yeah, and
Never mind that
Shino.
Shino's 700 years old or whatever. Baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind that she
I
is
am
the
the
oldest
baby.
member of the party.
Yeah. He's
He's the
At
mental
least in
maturity.
Built on Nesh right
yeah.
here.
Yeah, at least in terms of where he is mentally, he's in his late teens. And per the kind of guesstimate he gave you guys, Chuck is just a little bit older than him, drinking age ? And Tihomir is the only actual picking adult, so it's cool.
Not
Lialah
only
is-
is Tihomir the
is
only
baby.
actual fucking adult, Tihomir is actually a parent.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Be dad again.
Man, the party's gonna walk in. People are gonna see the dad TM, notice he's got more malevolence around him than the younger ones, and go, ah, I see it.
Haha, yeah. Makes sense.
Protective dad moments. Good job.
Yeah.
You had a rough time in the
Yeah.
mountains, huh, buddy?
Yeah.
Anyways,
Tihomir
moving
still
on.
chewing.
Yeah.
I'll say then for fun and enrichment show, does Lialah bring out her idea?
Yeah. Oh, to paint. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
I'm imagining that they're like in like a little circle, like discussing things, and then Lialah is like, "I got it."
Oh my god.
Do tell.
So all the Malcolm have colored hair bits, right?
And she like points at his own hair and also at Chino's hair. It's like
this. So we gotta paint Chuck's and Tihomir theirs.
At least
And-
for Tihomir, it'll be a little bit easier, cause his hair is already more the kind of shades I've seen from Earth Malachim, though we could probably add a bit more brown to the edges.
Well, yeah, his hair is already dark brown / black, so
Yeah, this
He's
is more
already
of a
got it.
light. Yeah, so bit more of a lighter brown at the edges, but that hopefully shouldn't be too hard to think something up.
Have you ever tried to paint dark hair, especially of the kind of color he's got? It's
Oh, we gotta
ass.
bleach. We gotta bleach
Oh,
the tips.
no.
You gotta bleach it first.
Looks at my
No.
hair.
He
Yeah.
has my hair color.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. What Shino is thinking of, there's lots of dirt around here. We can make do until we find something more permanent.
But also, Tihomir has a big ass fucking hat. He could just hide his hair.
Exactly.
True.
Well, his big ass fucking hat is a bamboo hat, and he's got really long hair. I don't think that's gonna work.
Never mind then. Neither the baby nor I know how this works. Anyways.
Shino squints and it's like, I guess if we were to try hiding your hair with your hat, we'd need like a veil or something. Just at
Tie it
least
up,
to
toss
hide
it up
the
in a
end of
bun
your
and stuff it in
ponytail.
there.
Anyways.
I think
Chop!
physics allows that.
Chop!
Yes.
There are a bunch of leaves being stuffed in your face. We can make this into paint! Right?
Shit, yeah.
It's green, and if we mash it up, it'll be green sludge. And then if we put it on your hair, it'll be green.
Chuck looks
Right?
delighted.
Shino like looks thoughtful and it's like, let me get out one of let me get out one of our bowls.
Yeah.
Shit, yes. Dye my hair. Do it.
This feels like
delighted screeching of a child.
Perhaps we
For
should do
fun-
this out of view of the city, though.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Camp out one more night, just out of sight. We can go in the morning.
We survived the mountains for this long. We can survive them for a bit longer.
Exactly.
Yeah, at the very least, we should be able to find a cave that doesn't lead in so deep. So.
We showed those mountains who's boss.
Sure did. Okay, for fun and enrichment, Lialah, you roll me a d20 to see how well making
Oh
my god.
the slush goes. For
Jerry
everyone else,
Key's
roll.
shitty dye job.
15.
That's pretty good.
That's really good.
That's pretty good.
Everyone else, roll me survival to find a place to rest.
Let me quickly look up if Ranger thing involves rolls with that.
I think you have advantage, possibly. Are
Terrain.
you using just base ranger, natural explorer? Or...
Yeah. When you make an it's intelligence or wisdom checks. Wisdom is survival. Proficiency
Yeah.
bonus is doubled. Okay.
Related to your favorite terrain, so yeah, I'd say this counts.
Yeah.
So
Buff bonus.
if you
It'll
have
be a plus
proficiency-
8 plus his survival.
Yeah, if you have proficiency in survival, you get to double it, but if you don't, then you don't.
Just
I
as
think-
a base, he has a plus 10 in survival. Is the
Oh my god.
You already have expertise in
Nice.
survival?
let's tab over to proficiencies. Oh yeah, I put proficient and expertise.
Okay, so yeah, it has no
Okay.
effect then, because you've already got
Okay.
double proficiency bonus anyway.
Got it.
Okay.
Let's roll.
Oh, that's a fucking nat 20 bitches! That's a 25!
Nice. I think
Nice.
Shino is too busy
Hey, RJ.
trying to
Like,
watch
create art.
Hey,
Yeah,
RJ.
exactly.
RJ?
Oh boy.
Did you not one?
No, the other way.
Did you net
We
20?
both did.
Also nat
We
20!
both-
Oh my goodness, nice.
Oh my god.
Locked the fuck
Oh.
in.
Guys,
Nice.
save the good rolls for a bit.
No, this
We're not
is
even
good.
doing
This is
anything
good.
important.
Look, if you did bad enough, you would have had to spend the night outside, so this is good. You find a really good cave.
It is perfect for our purposes.
Yeah. So you find a really good cave. You're even to like make a nice fire in there, get comfortable and everything. Yeah, Shino on his end is a little bit distracted, shall we say, in in witnessing Lialah create art. But it's also fun note for the two of you who got a nat 20. Shino is not so used to cold weather. And it's kind of clear that the sort of survival he's more used to isn't for these sorts of areas. I'll give you that for fun. So, you're in the cave. I'm sure that things are going well in there with two nat 20s. How do you go about applying that? Describe it to me.
Chuck's flopping himself down in a cross-legged sit. He is happy and enthused to be an art project.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I don't think we'll. Do we have a paintbrush?
I was thinking Lialah might just like slap it on with hands and work it in like shampoo.
Absolutely. Like that would be what Lialah would do. However, I'm asking the rest of the party if they have it to save to save the world from finger paint baby.
I don't have any kind of paintbrush. Actually, you know what? Tihomir's gonna head back outside with a bit. You said this is the Arctic. There's snow around, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Cool. Okay.
There is
He's
so
gonna
much snow
go
around.
get enough snow to make a pot of water, so that we can wash Chuck's hair first.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a nice clean surface for the sludge to take up.
That's
Yeah.
wise.
Yeah,
That's
that
wise.
is smart. And
And then he's gonna go get more water for cleaning it out afterward.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Shino at first started it sitting near Chuck because he has no clue how to do this, but he can perceive and definitely not keyword try tease Chuck. That actually think Tihomir get like the snow. He will go help out with that.
The problem with trying to cheese Chuck here is that assumes Chuck has any shame in this. No,
Yeah,
he
that's
doesn't.
exactly it.
In fact, real.
Yeah, Shino is trying to win a game that can't be won, but that's a him problem.
It's the perfect way of describing it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's a him problem. So, I'll say then with a 15, it'll take a good chunk of the night, but with a 15, you do pretty successfully get the sludge on actually. And it's well enough that the green does actually stick in. Maybe you found a good kind of plant. Or maybe something's watching over you and blessing you in your endeavors. You don't know, but you've succeeded.
Wahoo!
The baby cannot be stopped.
Yup. I guess from here my question is there anything else the party would then want to do this night, or are we good to skip over to the morning and actually going places?
I got nothing.
I think we're ready to just let's do it.
Got it. In that case, a bit of a time skip later. It is the morning. The sun is shining. You can hear some kind of funky bird noise. Chuck probably knows what kind of bird it is. I don't. But the sun is shining. The gates to the city are actually open, and you can see some people going in and out. What do you do from here?
You gotta have confidence. You gotta walk right in. Just like
Yeah, pretty much. We belong here.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Lialah is learning only the best lessons from Chuck.
It's called
Mhm.
social engineering.
Tihomir's gonna let the youngins lead because he's got the worst charisma of the party, I'm pretty sure.
Timir's job is
He
to
and
loom.
Shino, yeah,
Real.
Tihomir and Shino are a handshake for that. Shino is, well, actually, Shino is kind of sticking just a little bit more to Chuck's shadow. He hasn't hidden in the shadows yet, but he is kind of notably just keeping quiet, and he has his mask over his face as you all walk in.
All right, it's Dagger and Lialah on point, baby.
Hmm.
Yep.
Oh, party faces.
Yeah.
I mean, Lialah does have a pretty decent charisma.
So
Yeah.
what's like
It's the power of baby.
security entry like at the gate? Are people moving in and out freely? Is there like a guard who's like checking IDs or whatever?
People are moving pretty freely since this is like a town or
Yeah.
well a TM. There are some guard, so there are people who must be guards scattered about because they have some pretty impressive weapons. But like clearly, what they're doing is more keeping watch out for if any diamonds or if any trouble comes over.
Well, fuck, we're just walking.
Diamonds?
Yeah.
Where? Not
Yeah.
us.
No,
Don't be suspicious, don't be
don't
suspicious.
be suspicious.
For fun, Chuck and Lialah roll me a charisma check.
Flat charisma?
Hell yeah.
Just flat charisma?
Argument for
this is
persuasion.
you can do persuasion. Well, I'm saying charisma check. If you want to try talking to one of the guards, you can roll a persuasion.
I'll say persuasion because
Yeah.
Lialah is baby.
Lialah's a chatterbox.
And
Mm-hmm.
Chuck's persuasion is stronger than his flat charisma. So I think
Mhm.
then Chuck's approach would be like, well, what are we here for? We are truthfully here for two things. We're looking for a vessel for the youngin. We're looking for a bladesmith.
Okay.
Lialah's
Chuck,
just like,
Chuck, what have you picked for your vessel?
Pardon?
Chuck, what have you picked for your vessel, quote unquote?
Oh yeah. I forgot to mention that, but
Oh,
Shino would
yeah.
have asked you guys that as well. What have you guys picked for your vessels?
Extremely
hat.
quick crash
Mhm.
course on what forms that can take. Please.
Okay, so Shino would have Shino would have explained. Generally it has to be an item either of some importance or some kind of age. It can be of some importance to you, or it can just simply be a rather old and well-crafted item. The example he'll give is actually his own mask. That's his own vessel that was gifted to him while he was rather young and is made from the wood of a rather old tree.
Okay.
You can roll an insight if you want.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
of course, why wouldn't I?
Always.
Mm-hmm.
That's not great, but whatever. He's not pressing too hard about it.
Mm. Okay.
So 16, 23.
And 12.
Oh. um. Okay. No. This might make sense. This actually does make sense. Malak to Malak communication. Lialah, because you're Malak, you can get taking a bit of a better look at it. Yeah, you can really get the sense that there's definitely a piece of Shino in that mask, and he's very clearly tied to it. And you realize that he can't be too far from this item. Actually, that's a little bit how item vessels work.
Lialah nods sagely.
And for the rest of you, while you don't get this sort of vibe check, you do get that this mask definitely holds importance to Shino, shall we say. Not only because it's his vessel.
Chuck would have immediately suggested Tihomir say it's his hat.
Tihomir actually has a different item in mind.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Oh, and then I will just say real quick, Shino will explain that so ideally you'll want it to be an item you can move around with, because Malachim do have to be generally they have to be some degree of close to their vessels, be they an item or be they a human, actually, because that is a thing that happens, though Shino personally hasn't seen much of it. Well, he's seen a case of it. You can also roll insight for that if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my god, even
Why
worse.
not?
Oh my god.
Like, the way Shino says it too, he says, like, I haven't seen much. Well, I've seen a particular case of it. Briefly, Shino is saying that, looked at Tihomir, kind of paused to cut himself off, and yeah, he's seen one case of it. He's seen one case of it really well. There's some kind of feelings there, though. He isn't explaining them to me right now, the pecker. So, so I think for the rest of you, what you get is, well,
Lialah just kind of tilts her head. She doesn't
yeah.
really get it.
Yeah, that's okay. There were complicated feelings for you, Tihomir. Oh yeah, you understand this. You think you understand this feeling. Little bit of homesickness there. Maybe a bit more than a little bit.
Tihomir's gonna mull on that later.
So,
Chuck's too busy mulling over, would it be smart / realistic to say it's Chuck's dagger vessel is his dagger, because you can be disarmed. People can just take your weapon and walk away if shit goes enough south.
yeah. And Shino will note that. So a person's vessel can be, I guess, stolen, I suppose, and if it comes to it, a Malak can separate from their vessel without too much issue, but generally they don't like doing that because it's kind of not easy finding a good vessel, at least in his experience. Not every vessel will work for every Malak either. And he knows a case where, like, there's a Malak tied to a ship because the ship itself is their vessel, you know?
Oh, that's fun. Oh, me,
That
the
is
Kraken, I'm going
fun.
to chew on that. But I think Dagger's just going to keep his answer nice and simple. It's his hunting knife he's had since it's his hunting knife he's had since ye old days of his
Forever.
hometown. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. In that case, what is Tihomir contemplating to use as his definitely a vessel?
He goes quiet, and then from the depths of his robes, he pulls out a small piece of metal on a chain that he wears around his neck. It looks like some kind of badge of office. He doesn't explain it, but he just shows it and puts it back in his robes.
Cool.
Lialah will nod. She does not recognize what that is.
Would Shino recognize it by any chance, seeing as he's been in the area, shall we say?
You can roll for it if you want.
Cool. History?
Sure.
Oh, wow. It's just funny. I didn't give you a history prof. "13."
It
No.
looks familiar. It definitely looks familiar, but you can't place it.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
So yeah, that's that.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's fun. That's cool. With that settled, then, so are you just gonna flat out ask this guardsman then your questions? How do you go about that?
Chuck isn't sure if it's smart to just outright say, hey, this young baby Malak is lacking a vessel, but it seems pretty neutral all around to say, hey, we're looking for a skilled bladesmith.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I think that's what he'd leave with. Like, hey, we're new here. We've had a long, hard travel, as I'm sure you're aware. Like, let's have some directions, please.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the guy will take a look at you. Gaze lingers on Tihomir for a moment, and the guy nods. So, you will be informed that there are in fact a fair few bladesmiths. There is you'll want to go a bit further in town, further away from the sea. And you'll find the district where a fair few of them are, alongside a bunch of other craftsmen. So you are given directions over there.
You're a lifesaver. Cheers, mate.
Of course, no problem.
Thank you.
He will also note for you guys, since you're new around here, that aside from there being a fair few craftsmen and the fact that there is a decent Malak population here, he will note out what looks to be something between a bathhouse and a hotel, which is that really tall building you guys spotted earlier. And he will note that you can find other smaller inns and restaurants and such places closer to the sea. There is a harbor, so
Once again, a real lifesaver. Like, claps him on the shoulder.
you get a nod in turn and you'll be waved off then.
You.
Success. Infiltration.
Don't just say that. We're
He's not
amongst
saying
people.
that. He's not saying it aloud.
Okay. So what do you want to do?
Well,
I feel like the vessel is the actually more pressing issue.
Yeah.
Okay. So because you did get this information from the guy, I will give you a +2 to your survival rolls. Roll survival.
like Chuck needs it.
Plus 12. Thank you.
Yeah. So
Plus you roll 1 for your pride.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh my Jesus Christ.
Oh my
Nice.
goodness.
I got another net.
Oh my goodness.
This is my lucky
We are
dice
locked
again.
in.
Uh-huh.
The adults are on it.
Yeah, for Eel. I'm not even gonna have Shino roll. Because more than anything. So, you all actually do really well in finding a shop. In fact, you already know where the craftsfolk district is and that the blacksmiths must be around here. And you realize that, probably for vessels and such, it probably is around here. Shino would confirm that for you, and in fact, he is able to point you all to a couple of more quiet alleyways as you go towards the craftsfolk district. Now, with all of you having over 20 and one of you having a net picking 20, I'm gonna say you immediately find the shop. trying to figure out what's a good way to describe this. It is a proper shop and everything. From outside, you can see it's got a nice sign. Some items seem to be artfully placed around. Do you just enter? Do you do anything else? Try to look around?
Well, Lialah is looking around everywhere because baby is new around here and wants to see everything.
Yeah, Lialah is impossible to keep focused.
Yeah, that's so fair.
Tihomir is looking around, just keeping an eye on the places around them, the people around them, just being proactive in watching their backs.
Yeah.
Someone is going to have to keep reminding Lialah that she is not supposed to touch the things. She will keep touching the things.
Here's
least-
says Shino on that.
Yeah, I was going to say, it feels like, Chuck and Tihomir, Chuck's navigating, Tihomir is on, like, watchtower duty, and Shino's wrangling.
That is correct.
And baby is on exploring duty.
Like, Shino won't stop Lialah from touching the glass outside the shop to, like, take a look at the items, but when they're in there, he will stop Lialah from just picking something up and leaving
Yeah.
with it.
Oh, absolutely.
So-
She would actually like pick something up, look at it, then forget she was holding it, and just like start walking away.
Yeah, that is to say, Shino's probably had to multiple times either take Lilah's hands or pick up the item she's holding to put it back, which... So there are a fair few items in this store. And I guess whoever's paying a bit more attention to the items in store, roll me an int check.
Int
Well,
check.
Lialah is paying attention.
Okay.
Int check. Oh, it's flat.
21. 17. Not bad.
Yep. This
Uh,
even makes a lot of sense.
plus 3. Well, okay. 9 plus 3. These sure are items. These sure are important. Yep. Nodding.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, Chuck, yeah, man, these sure are items. Some of them, you might get a sense of like something a little bit mystical from them, but whatever. Fancy and old items, right? One thing you are certain of is that if you were to have one and try sell it elsewhere, it would go for quite the price. Now, Lialah and Tihomir, Lialah, you get it a little bit more on instinct, but you both realize the items have been split. And they've been split per elements, actually. You can very distinctly note out a section that must be, this must be for more, for the more fire-attuned items. This is for water, this is for wind, this is for earth. There
Lialah
are
is just...
Mhm.
Oh, sorry. Lialah is just going through all of them.
So, there is also then kind of in between sections. I'm trying to figure out how to describe this. There are items that don't fall under these elements, but they're a lot more rare. I'll say with getting over a 20, Tihomir, you can recognize that some of these items seem to be for the lightning element. And you note a couple that are sort of, it's kind of left up in the air what element they are, possibly its all purpose, and an item or two that might actually work for Shino, alternatively, if he didn't have his mask.
Tihomir's gonna nudge Lialah towards the ones that are sort of up in the air. Because I'm assuming none of them feel like Lialah does.
They do not. The closest there is are these sort of all-purpose ones, And of those, there is a coat and a shield.
Yeah. So yeah, he's gonna nudge Lialah toward the ones that are all-purpose.
Lialah, noticing, is the coat fluffy?
God.
You know what? I'm gonna say, yeah, I'll flavor it as a fluffy coat. Let me see.
Then Lialah is absolutely fucking magnetized to that coat.
Let me just put down, if you take a closer look, Lialah, you'll actually get a bit of a vibe of what it does even before anyone tries asking.
Mm-hmm.
So I've placed the link down. Or if you don't have it, I can kind of copy paste this.
I like it. Lialah is just gonna, hands buried in the fluff, just like, this one!
Does it feel like you'll be able to use it?
Yeah! It's also very fluffy.
So you're certain you'll be able to use it?
Yeah!
Shino just wants to make sure because he knows she likes the fluff. However, you can use it for its purpose other than wearing a fluffy coat, right? You're certain?
Yeah!
I think she'd
Okay.
have better luck with this coat than she would most of the items available.
Yeah, I get that sense too, but want to make sure. I haven't found many items I could use, so.
Well, let him try. Worst comes to worst, we can keep looking.
Yeah. I'll say, remind me, how much money does the party have collectively?
Good question. Let me check.
That is a good question.
Over to
Tihomir
equipment.
Tihomir's got 65 gold.
Okay.
Lialah
Chuck-
has 35.
Chuck's got 56 on him. I'll write that down in the Chuck goal. 56.
I do also have an elemental gem we can haggle with, if need be.
Oh, that's good. That's important, because I was gonna say,
Yeah, I've also got a list of Chuck
potent
items that
to
he's picked
be-
up.
Yeah.
Lialah has
Okay.
a shiny jade.
That's good, because I'll say,
Chuck's got rat jerky. You think that'll be good?
No.
Shino gives Chuck a look, TM. Okay, that's good, cause going purely off of money, buying one of these is going to be like 100 gold.
Okay, we can swing that.
So so I guess the question is, do you just simply buy it as is?
Well,
fine as is.
what other choices are there?
Trying to haggle, of course.
It's time to schmooze.
So the price you are given is 100 gold for that coat. How are you going about this?
Me, Kraken, sweating because what do you mean you want me to deliberately disagree with a person?
No, I mean,
Chuck
this
Dagger,
is
who would be used to haggling the shit out of people.
I will say, if you're good with this, then that's cool and okay. Just simply, I guess, decide amongst yourselves who's removing how much money.
The thing is,
Just
Chuck
make
the
sure it's
person
100
would make
total.
the attempts. So I gotta.
Okay, roll me persuasion.
He's just coming up to the counter it's the thing where he's looking close at the thing, it's we got some loose threads here. Let's knock off a few gold, huh? Or you're busting our balls. These are tourist prices. Come on, man. We both know that's bullshit.
Sorry, man. If you're going about it like that, the shopkeep is not moving. These are
we'll make the
proper
persuasion attempt.
Yeah, so you can make persuasion. I'll say
just increase the DC by 10, my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Because the guy will tell you rather stiffly that nope, these are all proper Malkin vessels. This is the price you'll be getting it at, no more, no less.
That
It took
works
quite a bit of
perfectly.
effort.
That works perfectly. Chuck's treating this like this is any old like dock at the side of a human town, and a 13 persuasion check absolutely meets the vibe you're setting down here. No can do.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that is not good enough for this.
Then Chuck's just shrugging easily, like, can't blame a man for trying.
Um, Can Lialah try?
Lialah can try. This is
With the-
your vessel.
with
Lialah can try.
The power of baby.
What does Lialah do?
She's like,
I don't have a lot of money, and I really need a vessel. Would it be fine if we could negotiate a little bit?
Depends on what you have to negotiate with. I could accept another item, but I would need to see it before I can make decisions on how much gold it would be in exchange for.
She brings out the shiny jade that she has. Just like,
I have this.
Okay.
And she like kind of searches her pockets.
Okay, so talking with the shopkeep, since the important thing here is that you asked if you could negotiate. So the shopkeep will say that the jade itself would knock 35 gold off of the price. So
Okay,
it would be
65. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So it would be 65 plus the jade.
She
doable.
nods enthusiastically.
Seems
Okay.
reasonable to me.
Okay. Are we then all satisfied with this trade?
Tihomir will nod and pull out 30 gold.
I think we can shake hands on that. Chuck pulls out 35.
Okay, cool. In that case, congratulations, Lialah. You now have this coat of the crest. So don't forget to add it to your inventory. Now, congratulations. Lialah has a vessel. She will need to attune to this item first. But with it, it's definitely going to be easier for you to not get affected so much by malevolence. That'll be something, though. I'll note it down when the time comes.
Ominous. All right, gold
Shino
updated in the sheet.
Hey.
Alright, I'm removing the jade from the sheet. And Lialah presents it very dramatically, like it's a treasured object. Just like, here! I hope you and kind of like she sort of like before giving it away, she just kind of like pats the rock, just like,
I hope you give it a good home.
I will. I'll do my best to. There's a quite impressive glass workers around here. You might see their work around. I think I'll be able to agree something with them. Some kick-ass jewelry is gonna be made out of your shiny rock, you think, Lialah?
hell yeah, Lialah is satisfied.
Yippee! So you guys are allowed to look around the store some more if you want. Let me know if you check out a particular section, because I did end up looking up items and finding what they'd be statted out as. So
Nice. Okay.
Chuck would be looking at like, okay, he's supposed to be an heir Malachim now. What kind of items do these people tend to use? He's having a look-see.
okay, so from what you see immediately for Wind, there looks to be a timepiece, a rather fancy-looking earring, a very odd-looking stone, and a rather ornate staff. you take a closer look at one of these.
You'd have a look at the watch. Like he wouldn't have seeing it. It kind of makes sense now, but he wouldn't have thought of that.
Okay, so one moment as I wait for this page to load. Boop. So you'd be getting some of these effects, but it is called the timepiece of travel.
Oh. Interesting.
So how this would work for a wind Malak is a fair few of the effects described here would kind of be flavored as a wind Malak's ability to turn into the wind and get out of trouble, shall we say?
Yeah, a teleport spell.
Yeah.
Ability spell, just get away from it all. Leave.
Just go, no thank you. Goodbye. Oh.
Teleport up to 8 people. Yeah. Dagger's like,
Yeah,
all right, this sucks. We're getting out of here. Grabs everyone. Goodbye.
I'll say, unfortunately, because this item is very specifically
Yeah.
a Malak vessel, you cannot use it.
It's still just fascinating
unless
to
you...
like look at and go like, huh.
Like this guy, well, no wonder this stuff's pricey. This guy does get quality stuff.
Uh-huh.
It's like, oh.
You go first.
It's like, yeah, unless Chucks were to somehow become a Malak, though, no go.
Fucking risen demon bullshit.
Tihomir's gonna look to see if he can find any other elemental gems, just to kind of get a bead on what kind of prices he might get if he sold it here.
So elemental gems aren't specifically in this store. The closest you can find is like a couple of... So there's that odd-looking stone amongst the wind artifacts, and there's a particular pearl amongst the lightning artifacts that have some form of like anything that's even remotely similar, but
Okay.
it's clearly not the same thing.
Yeah, okay. You'll keep an eye out when we go to different places then.
Yeah.
Or different stores in this place.
For fun though, I can slide this over for the pearl.
Yeah, that's what I fucking thought.
Finger guns.
Nice.
Okay.
You got some funky items there.
Oh yeah. Now let's see.
Man, making an item that's meant to be destroyed at a fucking vessel is so funny.
Yeah.
Call that a final fuck you.
You broke your vessel, and now you're someone new? God damn it.
It's like, actually you'll be able to note that notably this particular pearl does cost less, especially compared to the coat. So yeah, definitely meant as a more temporary thing. Okay, but with that, do you guys want to look anymore, or are you good to exit?
Lialah is satisfied with her fancy new coat, and is currently attempting to get the attunement in.
He looks
Okay.
handsome, he looks smart, he is a walking work of art.
Please know that
It's sitting on
Shino...
a train goat looking ass.
please know that Shino's handed me like effectively putting like the coat on Lialah's shoulders and then like buttoning the first button.
Want to wear it like a cloak?
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Make sure you don't lose it, okay? Shino nods. So, you all have managed to do that. Pretty much my question is what do you all want to do from here? Because I have a place here. You can now ask me questions or tell me where you want to go and what you want to do.
Do you want to beeline for the blacksmith then? Or take a look around more? Or...
I would figure blacksmith to at least get that ball rolling and know where to go. I imagine we still have plenty of light left to burn in the day because we would have specifically just gotten in ASAP. So
Yeah, and I'll say looking through the store like this, you maybe burned what? An hour, 2 hours at most. You got plenty of day.
Okay. Yeah, let's go find the blacksmith then.
Okay. So with the really good rolls from earlier, I'll say that you do just get it, and as is, you're already rather close to the district. Roll me a perception for fun.
yay!
Yippee!
Yippee. Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ, kid.
Well, okay, here's the bad rolls. We got an at 20 way too early.
I got the way too early.
It's a plus 10, right? Yeah, so, 12.
Oh,
So we have 12, 15, and 19. Shino, we need you. Shino, save us.
Please.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Shino will not be of help here because he is currently A, trying to keep a hold on Lialah's hand, and B, trying to stick to it's kind of funny, Chuck. Shino's sticking rather close to you right now.
Aw, buddy.
Seems you might be able to note that so
Honest.
this area is quite loud. There's a lot of people here. Might have something to do with that.
Aw. Kid doesn't like crowds. Meanwhile, Chuck's just like used to shouldering and sauntering his way through like busy little shitholes.
Mm-hmm.
Not that this place is a shithole, but
Yeah. It's
as fucking
it's
proven.
yeah, it's wee bit nicer, shall we say, or a bit more than a wee bit. You can do an optional insight if you want.
Yeah.
On inside is never optional.
Real.
Is it just Chuck?
You offer the option and you say yes.
Anyone who's been paying enough attention to Shino while they've been in town.
Hey, Morski. Boom.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
We're
Okay.
swinging
Unfortunately,
wildly.
I don't think Lialah would be paying attention. Baby is distracted.
Yeah, you are far too excited by all the new sights, and anyways, you're probably one of the bigger extroverts of the party, Lialah.
Yeah.
And Tihomir, you've noticed that Shino seems, I guess, a bit more on the shyer end, but as far as you can tell right now, since you've had to keep an eye out anyways, this is more due to the amount of people and the sort of loud noises in this area. Chuck, you specifically, probably because Shino has been kind of sticking closer to you and keeping quiet. Even with his mask on full, you do realize he's properly nervous. Yeah, the more people does have him a bit more on edge, and it's clear that he isn't the most socialized. since he's spent a lot of time on his own. But there is something else about being in this town that seems to make Shino nervous, though he hasn't spoken of it, you don't think? So
Yep.
you get that.
They're kind of actively on the move, so now isn't quite the right time to actively pry into that. But like, if Shino's sticking close, then Dagger's Chuck's absolutely just, lets him cloak up. Just if Shino wants to hide, Chuck's enabling that.
Shino is very grateful. He isn't hiding in the shadows yet, but no, yeah, he's very grateful for that. I will say then, with that, well, okay, so with the 12, admittedly, the loud noises have you a bit distracted. Oh, hey, is that a weapons shop? It is. You think you even see an armor shop further down there. Lialah, you are also very distracted by similar things. You're just able to differentiate that, yeah, these couple shops here are for flat out buying finished items. It's a bit further back where you can request a specific item to be made, you think. A proper blacksmiths and such.
Over there!
Let me just say for RJ, okay?
Yeah.
And then Tihomir.
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to get all of that, and you're even able to note, if you ask around or if you pay attention, you will be able to find the particular smithies that are noted to be very good at their crafts. In particular, there does seem to be a couple of up-and-coming Malakim that are quite skilled in making weaponry and armor specifically.
Let's go to a weaponsmith.
So, presumably it'll be pricey, but as far as you can tell, it does seem to be quality stuff. Though, so you are able to lead them there, but as of right now, you can primarily see a rather small-looking creature. Do you think that might be a Malakim? That looks to just be taking care of general things at these two smithies. What do you all do from there?
Lialah has no shame. She is going right in.
Okay. Perception check.
Everyone or just Lialah?
Well, right now just Lialah, because she's the only one said she's entering. Do the rest of you enter?
Yeah,
If Lila's peeling off, we're following. Accompanying child.
Okay, feel free to roll.
You broke the chain, Kraken.
Oh,
was 3 for 3.
Almost.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, Chuck.
Hi.
There's no one here. What the peck?
Shit, they're just leaving this place open for stealing.
Lialah and Tihomir. Yeah, there's no one here. In fact, this little guy here walking around and sorting things out. So clearly, whoever they are is familiar with the place, and they do just seem to be making sure things are upkept. But the fire is not going in this place, and it's kind of, you can come in here. There isn't especially much you can do right now, apart from maybe seeing one or two items that are held well in place. It doesn't seem like the blacksmiths have been here for a while, and
Lialah will approach the little creature.
cool. You approach the little creature. Tihomir, I'm gonna say you're tall enough that you catch sight of a note.
Okay. What was the note say?
Note says, let me figure out how to voice this in the character's writing. Ran out of juice, going to get more, be back in a few days, XOXO.
Damn it.
But we don't know when the note was left. It might be a few days now.
So, Lialah, this little creature, let me, get you an image. It is surprisingly hard to find the images of these guys.
Big rip. Is it one of the penguin-looking motherfuckers?
Yes. In particular, this one is let me see. Here we go. Forward and back. This one in particular seems to be more of a dark red color.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's one of these!
Yeah. This one in particular is more of a dark red color. And instead that sort of beret hat, what they have looks a little bit more like a metal knight's helmet.
Hold on, I think you sent a picture of that
So,
one previously.
oh my god. So funny thing.
Yeah?
Lialah does not have the pre-required knowledge of what a blacksmith looks like.
Oh, perfect.
God.
Yes, perfect. Continue.
So she's just like, "Hello, are you the blacksmith?"
Oh, hi! They freeze like a deer in headlights for a moment before scrambling to pull themselves together. Oh, I'm afraid not. I'm an apprentice here.
Oh, okay. Mr. Blacksmith.
Running low on materials, and at this point, the boss decided that they'd be better off gathering it themselves. So they left. If you're looking to get an item made, I can note it down. But it might be good if you return here in anywhere between 1 to 3 days.
We also have our own materials. We want to repair a sword that we accidentally broke.
Oh, okay, that's very good. Um, I am afraid the bus will still be out for a while, but could you give me in full details what your order would be, and I can keep it here, so I can inform the blacksmith once they return. And then once you're both here, we can agree on further details.
Okay.
And Lialah just kind of pulls out the broken sword.
We'll pull
Oh
out
my
3 pounds.
goodness!
Yeah, Tihomir will grab 3 pounds of meteoric iron because he's been the one carrying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this little guy pulls out from beneath their knight's helmet, like pens, like charcoal and paper. And they do like a little whoa jump at seeing the broken sword before like taking a close look closer to squint at it. I see. I'm surprised such an artifact even got broken. How do you do that?
You threw
With
a
lots
nightmare
of
at it.
skill.
Yeah. What did Tihomir say?
You throw a nightmare at it.
Can I say this is what happens in care?
Out loud.
Yeah.
He answered the question that was asked. How do you break the sword? You throw a nightmare at it. He's
Yeah.
gonna pull out the pig iron as well, because he's also carrying that.
Okay. This guy isn't a tune, so like there isn't an actual sweat drop, but you guys get kind of a long look, and I see. Well, okay, you will be brought to like a proper table where stuff can be set down. I'm just gonna speed run through. This guy would like take the measurements, would ask how the sword looked like before it was broken, and if you got any more pieces of it on you, or is this it, and like such questions like that. And the amount of ore you have will be noted down as well.
We do have the other part of the sword, right?
Yeah, we got all the pieces that we could of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So theoretically we can jigsaw the pieces together to show what it looked like before it was broken. Mostly.
yeah.
Ignore the cracks and the maybe missing chips and stuff.
Yeah. You would be missing some pieces, but this little guy would not do that. And ask for a few minutes as they sketch things out. And they're doing a lot of writing right now, clearly putting down their notes. And I'll say, Chuck, you probably have more note of this. You might catch a note of the or you brought does bring a fair bit of price reduction for doing this, so that's good.
As it should. He'd hope so.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now do you know where you'll be staying for this time? Because I can send you a note once the boss returns. We'll probably be around. There's the
We ain't locked that down yet. But we can let you know.
Where do
people
stay
around here?
Normally for travelers there's the inns, and the bathhouse does have a place, but it might be hard finding a place at the inns right now. Things
Why
have
is
been
that?
rather rather chaotic around here, There'll definitely be a place at the bathhouse, but it's kind of pricey.
Well, we got a sick cave right outside town.
This Malak looks shocked and worried for you, like, hello, you've been sleeping in a cave?
We've been traveling.
Okay, but that's no reason for a child to be in a cave. Not while you have an option of somewhere in town.
She shrugs.
Lialah
Whatever.
is different. You can definitely tell this Malak is this Norman Malak has their standards aren't rock bottom, shall we say?
They're not an adventurer. They're not a traveler.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not a few month-old Malak who has no clue as to how things are supposed to be.
No standards.
This is our first day within the town. We traveled to this place through the mountains. We've been sleeping rough. We will take a look at the bathhouse as you suggested.
That sounds good. Just make sure to be careful. If it really gets that bad, then maybe I can try pointing out a couple of the safer places near town, so you don't have to be so close to that much malevolence in the mountain. But they've been driving prices
side
out.
eye at Tihomir as he says that?
Yeah.
Perhaps. Perhaps. Like, you don't think this guy doesn't sense the malevolence that's
that's clean just a bit. Like, they do respect that clearly the kids do seem to be better off, but
The kids also have malevolence on them.
Yeah, none of them are exempt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone here is a little
exactly.
contaminated.
So it's like they can't, you can't in good conscience tell someone to just, go sleep out in the woods with all the bears and other scary creatures, especially when they're children. So, but that's what they say essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever we end up, we'll let you know. How's that?
Okay, that sounds good. And if you really don't have any luck, then just come back here and I can try pointing out some of the closer places.
Thank you.
They nod.
But that
Okay.
cave is really sick, though.
Could Lialah repeat that? Or what did she say?
That cave is really sick, though.
This person who's this well, I guess never actually asked for her name. So this blacksmith apprentice just kind of goes, I see. And they give sort of a little weary sigh as if they've seen something like this before.
Sorry, the child is not socialized.
Mm-hmm. I guess this is my last check-in from you all. Do you want to ask them any more questions, or are you good to head off?
I think we're good? Question mark? We've got the sword sorted, so it's just a case of let's find somewhere to sleep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We've gotten as far as we can.
Okay. So, first things first, your stuff will be returned to you, cause, no one's really home right now. The apprentice is, like, making sure things are in order, nothing's being stolen and such, but in terms of what would be safe, they'd advise that you take your items with you.
Yeah.
So you still have, like, the swords and the, ore and such. Now, where do you go from here?
Well, I guess find a place to sleep.
Let's go see how
Apparently
expensive.
the cave is not
Yeah.
the cave is not good enough.
Yup.
Let's see how expensive that bathhouse is. We have taken a knock to our finances.
So here's my question for you all. Are you going straight to the bathhouse? How are you going about this?
I don't particularly see a point in delaying, to be honest.
Yeah, and
Okay.
we will have at least now like a day for exploring around as we like. So
As we wait around.
yeah, let's get this sorted.
Okay, so going to the bathhouse, it's definitely more a high-end upkeep kind of place. It's also a rather bustling place. They were not kidding about it being a bathhouse. There are some notable hot springs around, and clearly there are things set up inside for a good time, though, well, you aren't actually inside yet, so you don't have those specifics.
Hot spring episode.
Hot spring episode.
You can.
For the Malak, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can make a guess that the hotel part, the place to stay part, is probably in the higher ends of the building. There are clearly a lot of houses around, though, with workers running about. Must be for sorting out food or materials or other such things. And you know what? Do me your choice of perception or investigation.
What was the choice of perception or what, sir?
Investigation.
Perception or investigation.
Was that perception?
Yeah.
Staria? Okay.
It's the thing she has a good modifier.
You need to get a 23, RJ. You need to get a 23. Do it. Get a 23.
Well, that's not happening, unfortunately.
Damn it, you broke the chain.
I'm rolling investigation because y'all two rolled perception, so sorry.
Okay, let me think how to word this. Chuck, well, okay. I think for Lialah specifically, what you get is, well, there sure are a lot of people. There's all kind of Malakim, and with your new realization about vessels, I guess, okay. I guess I'll need to tell this when Staria comes back. Let's go with this then. So, Chuck, there's a lot of people here. In fact, there is... Sure, hotels and hot springs, surely they must have a lot of people. But somehow this seems more people than even for that. There is truly a crowd here. It's kind of odd. Tihomir, because you specifically did investigation, it's a little bit hard to tell. It feels as if since like you guys are walking around and the people that work here do have their paths for easily getting over to where the livestock and other such things are, and a way to do so quietly and easily without trouble, but from what you can see from there's like a pass you guys are currently nearby that you don't think leads to one of the little buildings scattered close to the bathhouse. It seems as if it leads somewhere else, so you can't really tell anything more.
Alright, Mac.
Oh, welcome back. And then Lialah, to finish what I started, so there's a lot of people here, as I noted for Chuck, way more than actually what you'd think for a hotel and hot spring sort of place, even. Something you notice is that obviously these are all Malakims, and sure, a lot of people do have vessels, but there's actually a really large amount of Malakim without vessels here.
Ah, interesting.
It's kind of... It's a little bit more geared toward the workers being without vessels, but there's a fair few of the people that are just, standing around, clearly not here as personnel, who seem to be without vessels as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I can note for you all. Now, we've been at this for like 2 hours, I think. Do you all want to take a break?
I would love a little snack break.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, clapping my hands, let's take a bit of a break, because I need to drink a bit and actually, have my snack.
That's fair. By the way, Morskijez, I hope you know that while we've been doing this session, I've started a new felting project, and I'm felting Glupo.
Amazing. Frog.
I've currently done. I'm currently doing the eyes. I've done one eye. I can actually take a picture real quick.
Hey.
I'm trying to do it like that one YouTuber who's like doing it like really fucking detailed, and I'm like, how the fuck do you do that?
presumably a lot of practice and skill.
Yeah. Picture might be a little shitty, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Put it in the players chat. Or actually just the lobby.
Yeah. Oh, wow, nice.
Oh. The white blob is gonna be the base of the frog itself.
Oh,
I'm currently doing the eyes first.
Nice. Okay.
Where the fuck did the freaking eye shine go?
Ba-boom.
I
Alrighty.
didn't close mine in the first place.
Nudge, nudge. Okay, oh, I have given you all that information. What you doing?
Sort out lodgings. Let's see what's
Alrighty.
up with this bathhouse and also the. Why this place so busy? What crowded? It seems unusual. What going on? What are we missing?
Okay, well, if you
What
are
happened?
looking...
Yeah.
Good question. Well, you are able to go into, well, the lobby, and you are able to talk to a person at a counter. How do you go about doing this?
Chuck's just gonna walk up and, is there room available?
Yes, there
Question number
is.
one.
It'll be... They kind of pause, look at the party, and they will note out. So, you have the option of just a space to sleep. That'll be the 10 gold for 10 gold for the little one here, 15 each for the rest of you. And that price is increased by 5 gold should you decide to go for the babs and the meal as well.
And that's per night? Or
That is per night.
Fuck.
it would take all of our money just to stay one night?
Yeah. And then my next question had been like, the plus 5 gold for the spa, is that like to the total price or per person?
Interestingly enough, it's for the total price.
Chuck just kind of like nods, smiles, leans back over to her, just like, so how about that cave?
What I'm saying.
Is the bathhouse usually this busy?
Yes. I guess people are a little bit more excited than usual, but lots of people love to come here. Quite fond of the services.
Well, what are they excited about?
Oh, I'm not too sure myself, but it does seem that things are a bit more excitable than usual.
There's no kind of like event going on in town that everyone's traveling here for, or? Oh, well, all right. Thanks for the info.
Sorry, I just needed a moment to roll something.
Yep. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, remind me what exactly, what was the last thing Chuck said?
He was asking, his thought would be for people gathering and excitement is asking about an event. And like, he's needling now. He's actively prying. So I would call this a persuasion.
Roll your persuasion.
Like, come on, give me the gossip. Okay. Sorry, we're a +5. So it's an 18 persuasion.
That's pretty good. I'm just gonna roll something else. That's really funny. Okay.
Okay.
Their smile does not look any different, but what they do say is, oh, well, there are certain forms of entertainment around here. I hear there's been a lot more. There's been some new produce brought. That's why there's more people than usual around, I believe.
What does that mean?
You are giving a winning smile, Lialah, as this clerk at the desk goes. I think it would be best if you asked your friends here a bit more about that.
I want to try and insight this person. I
Yeah.
think they know more than they're saying.
Yeah.
Cool.
They're being real cagey.
Your DC is 24.
Jesus Christ.
Tihomir, buddy, I sure hope you got this because Chuck cannot do that.
I got it.
Cool. No, yeah, this person is lying. Like, they know exactly why. There is something more going on here. That persuasion from Chuck was actually a success, and that was them hinting at, yeah, there are more events happening around here. It's not the sort of thing you speak of in the daylight hours, though, presumably.
Oh, what?
I don't like the word choice. I don't like produce.
Pardon? Yup, produce, like, you know how black markets are, right?
Yeah, Chuck Dagger is extremely familiar with black markets.
So, like,
Tihomir's got the insight, but Dagger can pick up the vibes. He doesn't know what this means exactly, but it's on the down low.
Whatever it is on the down low. It does seem to be something that a lot of people are interested in, and it's not really something that someone as young as Lialah would be informed of. But
Lialah is just looking confused.
Yeah. This clerk will not be telling Lialah anything.
Yeah.
The rest of you get
Probably
that vibe.
for the best. Probably for the best.
Tihomir's gonna just tilt his head a little bit to the side in a little signal of, I'm picking up what you're putting down, and just go, is there any way you would recommend that we might like to see the sights?
Yes, things tend to pick up even more in the evenings, you see, and give me a moment as I figure out how to word this. Or rather, how she would get you this message. She tilts her head in turn, and you realize that she is pointing you out to a direction. And it is one of those more hidden passages. That one you saw earlier. There are definitely more around here. You only spotted the one, but she is pointing you towards another. That while people are sure to keep clear of the openings, it does seem like a place that a lot of people have been coming in and out of.
He will nod. Message received.
Cool, and she'll nod back. Elsewise, she will smile, like, give you all a calm smile, and then state, so with that, would you be interested in staying here?
I think we're going to want to explore around town a bit more if we make any true decisions, but thank you for all the info.
Of course. I serve to please.
Sure you do. Cheers. Dagger's backing out.
Let's go
Let's
away from here.
Yeah, as they're, put some distance, and Chuck's just like muttering, okay, T, like, that was weird. You picked up those weird, right? Tell me you got something.
I don't get it.
It
You're a little bit young for this.
might be best for the best that you don't get it. I have been getting a weird sense that there's more malevolence a bit further in the place. So whatever they got going on.
That would be perhaps something that Chuck and I should check out later.
Yeah, that sounds like a little evening excursion.
You could then teach Lialah how to use his new vessel. At the same time, we could kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, I can do that. Sounds like a good plan. It would probably be best that I don't go that way regardless.
Okay.
He makes a inquisitive little noise, even gay as it.
Yeah, Chuck's, slinging an arm around Shino's shoulders, like
fidgets a little bit, by which I mean he fidgets a bit with his mask, and he'll more quietly note, best if we talk about this when we're not in the open.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Runs of affirmation.
Yeah, as in this is a talk to have when they actually have a room or a proper place to stay.
Okay. I think for sake of covering our bases, we might want to just go check the local hotels and shit, see if there's anywhere that's cheaper and has even just one room.
Yeah.
So, for fun and enrichment, do me, I guess, your choice of survival or investigation.
One of those is better than the other.
Oh, we gotta pick survival.
Right. Whatever. That's 15 investigation from.
What
from
is your survival? +4. 9.
Okay.
I got you.
You
Good.
do survive.
Good.
So, Lialah, I think it's more like, you know what your attention is caught by? You know what your attention is caught by.
Yes.
So you're all a lot closer to the docks. And
the fish. It's all the fish, isn't it? It's the fucking fish.
Incorrect. There is a dock, and near it there's this little floating platform. It almost looks like a little boat. And
oh my
on
god,
it,
yeah.
there's a bowl with effectively it's duck food, because there are a couple ducks both chilling on that boat, just kind of snoozing. It's clearly being made as a little shelter for them, and there's a couple floating around.
I'm putting my head in my hands because the first thing Lialah has handed me is just, I want to try that. And I'm just like, Lialah, no!
What does Lialah mean by try that?
The food!
Please know that Shino will be scruffing Lialah, though I imagine they're all the way over there at this point.
Yeah, Lialah is just determinedly walking towards the raft. Bad ideas fully hashed out in her brain. That little brain of his.
Oh, you have a pretty good chance of sneaking out. Shino sees this, swipes to like pull you back.
What do I roll?
Choice of athletics or acrobatics.
Well, I'll go with acrobatics.
You make it. Yeah. So Shino's running after you now.
She's going to see the ducks, and also may or may not try and eat the duck food.
Yeah. So Shino's fine with you seeing the ducks. He will happily show you the ducks. You are not eating the duck food, child. Get back here. So I think there's a bit of a chase going on while
Duck, why not for child?
Shino voice, ducks are a bit harder than us in some regards. So that's a chase going on in the background. As for the
Meanwhile, the
adult,
adults.
well, for the adult and the adult question mark of the party,
The adult and the adultier adult.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, Tihomir, you are able to look around and you find a lot of inn spaces, but there's a lot of them that are closed right now, and those that aren't closed are practically full up. And asking around, I guess I don't know how else to say. The economy is a bit in a crisis.
The economy's in
economy is in
fucking
shambles.
shambles. I'm high-fiving you.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And talking around, the prices for a fair few things, and especially things that need to be ferried in from outside of town, have really been jacked up. It's kind of why so the inns are closed right now, because they're waiting for things to get a bit better before they reopen. At this point, they're losing more money than like gaining it. They can't really survive like that, you know?
I say again, we got a perfectly nice cave right out yonder. Only trouble I see is that we're going to start catching attention coming in and out every single day.
Yeah, you will. And especially when there's a very visible child among you. Now, Chuck, you are able to wheedle your way around. You see these same places, you catch these same details. You are also able to catch that it seems there's a particular someone who's effectively the guy who's in charge for bringing a lot of things to the town from outside of it. You're getting kind of the vibe that clearly this guy must have ties to these issues. Clearly.
Okay.
But you are able to wheedle your way around where you just about find an inn that has one last room that's available. You just about got over there when someone was leaving.
I thought you were going to say he just got there in time to beat out someone else, and Dagger's just like hip checking and throwing elbows together.
Now, when you first get there there isn't even a space, but someone just about leaves, so that, well, gives you an open space. If you decide to check someone as you, like, both see this chance, you can.
Just dibsing.
Yeah, like, I'm imagining your man just like slapping a hand on the table like me first.
Yep. He absolutely pulls the
like,
we have a child.
I don't know why, but for a brief second, I thought you were going to say that he pulls out the "I'm pregnant."
You want to leave a pregnant man out in the streets, would you? got something cooking in here.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my goodness.
I regret so much.
Yeah, you should.
This is the con now.
And just also, I'm sorry. You said he posted we have a child. Meanwhile, the child who is like, I'm imagining they're at the ducks. Shino has picked up Lialah, but she's like hanging upside down in his grasp.
Oh, absolutely. This
If
is
anything, this
enrichment for
sells
her.
it.
Yeah.
This is all enrichment for her.
Mm-hmm. You can like just see past the door and windows that little floating boat for the ducks. And nearby Shino holding Lialah who's upside down.
And Lialah is still trying to like squirm away.
Yeah. So for all of you together, since you're just taking the one room, it's gonna be 10 gold per night.
Much
You will be
more reasonable.
Yeah. You will be getting a proper place to sleep, and you do have the option of taking breakfast and dinner here.
It's one room. It's small. It's like one bed. Chuck's taking the floor no matter what.
It's one bed.
Excellent. Oh, we're jamming ourselves in there.
Cool.
Right.
So you have a place to stay. Congratulations. The other nice thing about your room too is, even though it's really small, you do have a nice view of the docks, and you can actually see shipments coming in from it alongside the little duck boat.
Lialah doesn't care about shipments. All she cares about is the ducks. Look at the ducks. They're so cute. Look at them.
Look at all them chickens.
Hello,
Yeah.
chicken.
There's a goose there too.
Oh God.
Risk assessment. No.
All right, Shino, spill. What you got?
Okay. Like Sheena, but you're immediately going like, damn, you're just immediately going for it, huh? Okay, fine.
Never mind that Chuck was just in a town he didn't want to be in and had history in. Like, no, that doesn't matter here. Spill your guts, Shino.
Shino like grumbles a bit, but he does lift his mask back up, so it's like on the side of his head instead of covering his face, and he just kind of grumbles. How much have I spoken about my family? My guardian is rather well known around these parts, and because of it, I might be rather well known.
You're famous.
Not really.
Is
Well,
this well known as in infamous? Is that the kind of sense that we're getting from this?
Shino himself? No, and his not really is more in regards to himself. His guardian, however, yes. Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Lialah does not get any of that because Lialah does not know subtlety.
There's sort of a pause, and Shino looks at like Lialah and just kind of sighs. And well, you should probably hear about them at some point, but we've been traveling for a while, right, Lialah? Do you remember do you remember anyone mentioning the Empyreans as we've traveled?
Can I roll history?
All of you can roll history, though I don't think Tihomir even needs. Well, actually, yeah, Lialah can roll history. The rest of you don't need to.
Cool. Okay.
Oh boy.
You have heard mention of them once, But Lialah, when you heard mention of them, it was amongst humans, really, because that's where you've all mostly been by now. And it was more in like the vibes of talking about a deity. For the rest of you, so Tihomir, yeah, you do know who the Empyreans are. They've been spoken of a lot less nowadays, admittedly, but like a fair few people do just flat out worship them. There are churches for this sort of stuff, and you would know because of you might know due to past details that they do actually exist, and they are incredibly powerful. It's kind of that's part of the reason those churches are there. And Chuck, you would have that, but you in particular know the name of one of the Empyreans because that guy in particular was worshipped in the town you grew up in.
Okay.
I can find a name. I just need a moment to double check my notes.
Is it? No, that wouldn't be that one. Never mind. Interesting.
Did I seriously miss the name of the Fire Empyrean? There is a name for this. I just don't have it on hand. I could have sworn I wrote it down. But so in particular where Chuck lives, there would have been worship for the Fire Empyrean. In fact, Chuck, you would know that the mountain killeress and the flamestone that can be gotten out of it is quite a fair bit attributed to said Fire Empyrean.
Okay.
I guess this time do roll history, but this is more of a choice of history or religion, I guess, just to see how many deeds you both have on the subject. Whether or not I can give you something more.
History +3.
I'm assuming Lialah cannot roll here because
Lialah cannot,
maybe.
but that's okay because she's gonna be getting a history lesson now.
Was it just Chuck's who roll, or was it me as well?
You as well.
Okay. Does this count as within the last 300 years ish?
Yes.
I have advantage on this then. We'll take the 19. What's my modifier again? +7, so 26, I think.
Cool. Okay. So, Chuck, you know those details about your own hometown. You also know that other places do worship different Empyreans. Fire is a bit more prevalent in the Northlands. And you've probably traveled around the Midlands, right? You would have heard,
Yeah.
you would have heard mention of, you would have heard mention of a Wind Empyrean, I'd say. Yeah, you would have heard mention of a Wind Empyrean, a bit more around the Midlands. And you think there is a to the east and the you know that there's someone else often mentioned to the east and the west and the south, but you don't really know much more in that regards. It's really a question of if he would have tried looking into that even.
Probably not too deeply.
So yeah. In that case, nah. Mostly what you know is that there is a mention of a Wind Empyrean on occasion in your travels around the Midlands, and you know about the Fire Empyrean. Now, Tihomir with that 26. So, you already know off the bat there are 4 Empyreans for the 4 most common elements seen around. And you would know about a Wind Empyrean, seeing that it's in the Midlands. You would also know in the Southlands the Water Empyrean is in particular worshipped, especially because of their lifestyle and what they do there. And you would know to the east and the west there is more of a mention of an Earth Empyrean. You even have their names, the Water Empyrean being Amina, the Wind Empyrean being Hyanoa, and the Earth Empyrean being Elmasia.
I get spellings on those, please.
Yes. You would know the name through the Fire Empyrean as well, but I will need to find that before I slide it over your guys' ways.
Okay. So the Water Empyrean is worshipped in the south, the Earth Empyrean is worshipped in the east, the Wind Empyrean is worshipped in the Midlands.
Yeah, Midlands. I'll add it here.
And the Fire is in the north. What is the west worship?
So it's the east and the west. East and the west worship a bit more Elmasia.
Okay.
Though going off of what you know of more recent times, it's sticking a little bit better in the west than it is the east. At least amongst humans, said worship of Elmasia. There we go.
How did you say those again?
Anna, Kiana, and Elmasia.
Sorry, say the wooden one again. I'm just noting down pronunciations.
No worries. Do you want all 3 or just the last one?
Just the wind one, actually. I have Earth
Okay.
already.
Hyanoa.
Hyanoa.
These have actually been pulled out flat from the game. And you do at least, I at least remember there being a proper pronunciation for Amina, so that's where I pulled that from.
Understandable. Have a nice day. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. So, you will know that, Tihomir. Now,
Has Shino ever said where he's from?
he has not. He just he's only mentioned that he's been wandering the Midlands for a long time. So he's familiar with them, but you get the impression he's not actually from them. So, yeah, Shino will ask you then, Lialah, do you remember humans speak? Well, have you heard mention of the Empyreans?
Kinda. They were talking about them as those, like, big guys that, do powerful stuff, I think.
I guess that's one way to describe it, yes. So Empyreans are Malachim too, but they're particularly powerful ones. Powerful enough that instead of taking an item as their vessel, they can take the land itself as their vessel. And they are, well, they are capable of affecting the Earth itself in rather in much stronger ways than most Malachim can. Humans worship them, and they are rather well known amongst Malachim for what's probably pretty obvious reasons. My guardian is one of them.
Oh!
Lord Almasia has been asleep for a while, but I and my siblings are at least well known enough to be connected to him, so it's generally not an issue when out wandering, but in bigger places like this there may be messes, so I'd rather not be recognized.
So people see you and they're like, oh, you're a messenger of God or something. That how it works?
No.
I'm confused.
Shino, that's fair. Shino's kind of pausing and is visibly thinking on how he should explain this. For the rest of you, you can try rolling an insight on Shino, and you're both fairly, savvy. This is more of a thing about politics for the Malachim.
Oh, politics, great.
Politics. Yeah, we're both so good at politics.
Yeah, and you can. like Tihomir, you especially get that. Oh, this is more of a thing of politics. This is like if the old king, or rather, if the old king's son were around. Well, people would obviously be trying to get stuff out of him. You get trouble out of that. Shino's a hermit as is. Do you think he wants to be talking to people like this? For you, Chuck, you in particular get that, like, yeah, Shino's struggling how to describe this. But you don't quite catch what before he says anything, but you do get that it's a fair bit of grievance for him. He does not like it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but because of your previous insight, the reason he's nervous in town is because of this. It's Lialah, it's more like, I guess, like, because of your relation to someone, people might want things from you, or might want to get close to you, just in order to get certain services.
That sucks.
It does.
Yeah.
Authority comes with responsibility. Connection to authority comes with about the same amount of responsibility. Connections are just as important as skills that you can provide or trade that you can give.
That's
a
too
very powerful thing.
That's too complicated. I don't like that.
You said it, kid.
Adults are so strange. Why do they need to care about all that weird stuff?
Because the world is a very complicated place. Wish that I did, that it had the simplicity of a child's view, but it does not.
It's...
Don't be in too much of a rush to grow up, kid.
Okay.
Yeah. Shino sort of sighs a little bit, and he adds, I'm between my siblings. Well, my elder ones were a lot better at speaking to people, and in general, my best way to avoid dealing with such issues is to just not stick close to the types that would care about this stuff.
Then you can stick to me, and then people will only talk about how cute I am, and they'll be too distracted to look at you.
Yeah.
It's honestly
Yeah.
not a terrible cover. She is very distracting.
That is true, and at the very
You
least,
get
I'll keep.
You get a big grin out of that.
And I'll keep my mask on my face, so at least while I keep low-key, at least out here in the streets, it shouldn't be as much of an issue. But it's probably why I shouldn't go down to the more hidden stuff mentioned. It's a lot more likely that those who care for such sort of connections are there.
Right.
At the very least, it's not a situation where I'd walk out like this. I'd stick to the shadows. So, I'll say Shino is falling quiet now, but you can ask him more questions if you'd like. Because elsewise he is probably flopping down on the bed with a sigh.
Lialah kind of scoots over, flops on him.
He lets out another breath, but you do earn a smile out of him.
Emotional support, baby.
Emotional support, baby.
Literally.
I think we should make a plan of what we're going to do while we're here.
Yep. Shouldn't stick around for as short as possible. Because not only do we gotta wait for that smith to come back, it's gonna take time for that sword to get fixed.
Yeah, and, well, the longer we stay here, the more people will remember us.
Yeah.
We also have a budget, so we should probably figure out how we're going to handle that, or if we want to try our hand at getting some more money while we're here.
I have been looking.
You think people will buy fish?
Those fish have been on you for some time now. I don't think they're fresh enough to sell.
Well, I can fish more.
I mean, they might take the fresh fish. We just want to figure out where the market is and if there is a free market.
It's
I've
worth
been
a
trying
shot.
to find. I've been trying to find other elemental gems to attempt to ascertain how much we could get for the one we carry.
It'll probably be worth looking around the crafts folk area then. There will likely be more.
I will take another look.
Maybe the secret stuff has a way to make money. I don't know how the secret stuff works.
That is something
Maybe.
Chuck and I can ascertain perhaps tonight.
Yeah, I'd stay tonight. And like my usual thing of making a quick buck is card sharking. I don't know the scene for that here, and just have to be extra careful not to piss people off with it.
You must remember as well, this is not a human settlement.
Yeah.
Mindsets of the place are not the same.
Yeah, they've been making that clear.
You're probably better off. I don't think cards will work quite as well here for earning money. Last I checked, it's more played casually.
Yeah. There'll
Or
be
be
there'll be
kind.
odd jobs that can be picked up. Can sniffer.
Yeah. Mm.
For the moment, then, let us take a respite in here. Tonight, Chuck and I will go and check out this secret market. The two of you can discuss Malak business between yourselves without us being here.
Is there Malak in secret?
Well, sort of. But
Secret.
well, everyone here got the biggest one earlier. But there are some more things I should inform you about.
Okay.
Out of character, Lialah, are you ready for class?
Yeah,
That is
welcome to
all I can
Culture
think about topic,
101.
Shayna, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, good. Yeah, pretty much.
Have fun teaching the flathead child how to be a proper Malak.
It's okay. Shino barely knows what he's doing himself.
Right.
This is fine.
Yeah, it's totally cool. Well, the good news is Shino would genuinely try to get Lialah the more common sense stuff that Malachim would know. And would also try to make sure that Lialah knows what to do in certain Malak only situations. Like, say, if your vessel breaks and you're in a place full of malevolence and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that will be for later then. I suppose for now, you are able to chill and I guess treat this as a short rest. You'll had a long rest earlier.
You got it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It'll be some hours later. With the sun setting, dinner tonight looks to be this sort of bean soup with some cabbage and sausage. It's a sort of meal that really warms you up.
Good. It's
And
chilly out
from
there.
yeah, it's especially chilly. It's really pretty out there though. Like, you wait long enough, and eventually you do see some lights start to appear in the sky.
Lialah loves it.
Yeah. But from here, I can let you all loose. What you gonna do?
Gotta go try and find a man about a rock.
Alrighty. Okay. So, I guess a question for me. You all had a long rest. I'm gonna say that lasted a couple hours. I am treating it as it's now nighttime. Do you still want to look around for a man for a rock, or do you want to leave that for the next day? Because a couple places will still be open at this time, but not as many as during the daytime. You don't think, unless you try looking in other certain places.
Say again, sorry?
Okay, so from what I understood from the conversation, the idea was to wait until the evening before splitting up to do stuff. Are we? So is that still happening? Is Tihomir gonna try searching for a guy for a rock now, or would he have done this earlier?
He would have done this earlier.
Okay, in that case, so let me double check my own notes. He would have been able to find a place. Okay, yeah. So he would have been able to find a glass workshop. And there is indeed a lot of glasswork. There is also a lot of jewelry and similar such sort of crafts here. The person manning the shop right now seems to be a rather sharply dressed lady, with bone earrings and a couple glass daggers as notable things about her.
Private dress woman meets a raggedy ass man.
Yep. Still, she does seem to be a professional. She will ask what you are after.
I'm going to pull out the gem and hold it up and go, how much could you give me for this?
There's a hum and sort of a pause. Remind me what's the stats on that gem. That's an elemental gem, right?
Yeah, so it's an elemental gemstone.
Okay.
It's a blue sapphire, so when you break it, an air elemental is summoned.
Nodding. Okay. You do get a pause from it, and well, you'll get a pause from her as she assesses it. She'll note down it would be at least 40 gold for it.
40 gold, okay.
Yeah. She would be willing to obtain it for 40 gold. She will also note that there's another place that is manned by a wind Malak that might have interest in that gem in particular, though she cannot speak. Well, she doesn't know what sort of prices would be there. So.
Okay, right. He would nod and then say he's gonna check in with the Wind Malak first, and then might come back later.
Okay, nods. Is he doing that immediately?
Yes, he would do that immediately.
Okay,
this is his side quest for the day.
Yeah. Okay, there will be an amount more wandering, so I'm gonna say maybe talking to her and coming to this guy all together would be an hour. And talking to the Wind Malak in particular, what he'd be willing to do is he'd pay 20 gold for it, but he'd be willing to give you one ring alongside it.
What kind of rings has he got?
So looking at it, you can find a ring of protection and a ring of jumping.
A ring of protection and a ring of jumping.
Yeah.
Shit.
Let me open these up as the options.
Oh shit, we got squishies. The ring of protection would be really good. But we also need liquid cash for this fucking sword. He'll take the ring and the 20 gold. And then he's gonna see what kind of money the ring would get somewhere else.
Okay. So ring of protection. Is it the ring of protection?
Yeah, the ring of protection. Because that's
Got it.
That's rare versus the ring of jumping being uncommon, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, let me see. Yup. That would be correct. Okay. I will note, obviously you can't give the ring back to the guy.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's gonna see what it could get elsewhere.
Yeah, and if you visit Miss Glassworks Lady, she will not be buying that either. She's already got such rings selling, and you could probably make a guess that she and Mr. Wind Malak work together. Elsewhere, so a good chunk of the craftsfolk district won't be taking the ring. Mostly because either there's no interest or they just don't even bother putting up a price, or what they deal in is far more different, like there is for this one shop that deals in wood carved items.
Mm-hmm.
But you could try exploring outside of the craftsfolk section.
He probably would. He'd ask around, basically see what the kind of like the best price he could get for it would be.
Possibly you could get something in the blacksmith district. Trying to ask around like the sort of more inland living spaces and the docks won't really get you anything. Less because people aren't interested and more because people really don't have the money to spare right now.
Mm.
And looking at the blacksmith district, so selling such a ring would be 50 gold, like to sell it for a proper price. But you're kind of hard pressed to find someone who is able to pay that sort of price right now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the blacksmiths who are away might be interested because they might be interested in how the ring works, but as is, they are not back.
Okay. All right. He'll keep hold of the ring then. We'll check back later once the blacksmiths are back. And he'll let the apprentice we talked to earlier know where we're staying as well.
Yeah. Cool.
Good catch.
Yeah, they'll thank you for that, and you will see the address is noted down in their trusty notepad.
Actually, while he's also here, he's gonna query kind of how much it would cost to build to craft a naginata out of the rest of the iron that we brought.
Okay, that'll get like that'll get a very thoughtful look, and they'll take a look see at the things. Depends on how depends on what kind of naginata then, because for a basic one that will be maybe 15 to 20 gold. If you were to do a +1 naginata, that would be 25.
Okay. He'll tuck that information into his back pocket then for later.
Yeah. And Miss Apprentice Blacksmith will note probably if he wants this sort of order done ASAP, best to note it down now, because it will like take time to make this.
Yeah.
So unless he wants to wait around for, oh, I need to look up how long it takes to make this sort of stuff, but probably an
In
amount
real
of time.
life or in D&D terms?
Ha, that would be useful all around. We can probably cheat and say it goes a bit quicker with who exactly is making the weapons, but
There are downtime rules for crafting items. It does it in work weeks. To determine how many work weeks it takes, you divide the price its gold piece cost by 50. You can complete more than one item in a work week if the combined cost is 50 gold or less.
okay.
So in this case, I think the selling price on the Naginata stats that I gave you, I didn't put a selling price to it. Hang on.
Okay.
How much does a glaive cost? Glaive is 20 gold, so
Okay.
that could easily be done in a few days.
Okay, yeah. In that case, you will be noted. Yeah, the Naginata would be able to done it in a few days.
The sword is another matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sword. Yeah, the sword is another matter. For the sword, few weeks.
Yeah.
It
I think a bulk standard greatsword is 50 gold, so that would take at least a week.
yeah. For this sword in particular, it very specifically the apprentice works. The apprentice notes that if both of the bosses work on it, it should be a couple of weeks. But that's if they can get both of the bosses to work on it.
Right. He will take that information back to the party.
Alrighty. Right. So, next person, I suppose. What's Lialah doing right now? While Tihomir is on his side quest.
Well, I think Lialah is mostly interested in ducks right now.
Okay.
But also she's gonna try doing a little bit of fishing, so and try and sell fish to whoever indulges her, I guess.
Okay, let me double check the fishing rules. Let me see. Okay, so let's say Tihomir's side quest took about 2 hours. Do me two survival checks.
Okay. I do have a fishing kit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what's letting you fish.
Yeah. Do I have proficiency or not?
I'm gonna say you do have proficiency.
So survival plus proficiency?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a +8.
So do that twice and I'll let you know what kind of fish you get. Okay, so in these 2 hours you're able to catch one fish. Because it was a pretty high roll, I'll say roll a d10 with advantage. Oh, it's roll but d10 advantage, or that works. Okay.
There's no advantage command for dice other than d20.
Yeah.
For the record.
That's why I did the roll 2 dice thing.
Okay, so let's see. A 7. Oh yeah, good thing we Tokyo drifted away from that one. So a 7 will get you the 7 will get you an eel.
Another eel!
Yeah. This one isn't as big as the one you caught previously, but it is a pretty nice eel. You think you would be able to sell it at the marketplace. Chuck, would you like to help with that?
Sure. You can assess.
Okay. Hey, Chuck, roll me, your choice of a charisma check to convince people they want to buy this eel.
It's gonna be persuasion, baby. Time to hawk the wares.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Cute.
Can Lialah
Looking
give him
at
the help action?
you know what? Yeah, she can.
Yeah. All right.
Your
By being
help action.
adorable and showing off the eel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the first one then was a 13 on the dice, and the second one, thank you, Lialah, is 17 plus 5.
Hey. Okay, I'm gonna say with that you're able to get yourself 20 gold for this eel. You really managed to impress people.
Chuck may be drawing the attention, but like the fact that it's a cute little child who's very obviously proud of themselves is a big part of this, I'm sure.
Yeah, Shino's there too. He's, for the moment, since you are pulling attention over, back to hiding in the shadows, which actually I should do this roll.
So 20 gold, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Oh, Lamau, Shino, you're doing so bad. Well, it's good enough for now. 18.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm. A couple times he gets shoved out of the shadow, but he's able to hide behind Chuck. Now, I will say we have been going on for a while. Do we want another break? What would you all like to do from here?
Think I could use a break no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I am so very interested in the secret market.
Rude.
Uh-huh.
He's like,
I
man,
could use a break. I could use a bathroom break and also a food break.
You
Yeah.
want to take 10 minutes then?
Mm.
more snacks. And I'd say we're at 11 o'clock my time here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
how
want to go
much
any more
time
than
do we
like
got?
2 hours. That'd be my hard limit.
Okay.
I do technically have to go help build shelves. Or help build sheds.
Mm-hmm.
We could call it here and save the secret market for the next session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Devote time to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because then that way we
'Cause
don't
I
necessarily risk splitting this juicy little thing in half.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say, I think with what I'm hearing, it's gonna be better to do the secret market next time.
Secret
Alright.
market. Secret market.
Secret market.
Secret market.
You're even in the mountains.
Yeah.
So you can't. If there's something else your characters do want to do in the meantime before said split up, we can do that now before we close it. But like, elsewise, I think this is pretty good.
Alright.
Chuck's got nothing. He doesn't have a particular side quest. He's more just assisting with the others until it's time for night market.
Yeah,
Okay.
Tihomir's got nothing.
Got it, got it. In that case, shall we call this a close for today's session then?
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Heck
Hell
yeah.
yes.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of
Heck
fun.
yeah. I'm
Good to be
glad.
back.
My recording.
Let's hope we can do this again soon. Nerve.
All right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Stopping my recording.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Yippee!
Thank you. Bye-bye.